Greetings and welcome to the live introduction for my 45-day Reconnect with your Inner Guidance Tarot Challenge. So, the first thing you're probably wondering is what is this challenge about? Why is it so long? Why is it 45 days? And you might have a bunch of questions. And so, I'm going to explain to you in this video what this tarot challenge is about, who it's for, and how you can gain value from this. So it doesn't matter if you are new to tarot, if you have been using tarot for a long time, or if you're advanced with tarot and you just want to be a part of doing something fun and participating in this journey, then stay tuned because that's what I'll be sharing in this video. So I'm going to dive right into this tarot challenge is 45 days because when you are wanting to connect with tarot, and especially with the intention behind reconnecting with your inner guidance, the whole purpose is to really explore that and dive a bit deeper. So if you're wanting to strengthen your intuition, if you are wanting to learn more about tarot, really wanting to understand it a bit more, even if you're new, this is a great way for you to start. And it's not going to take a lot of time out of your day. It is something where you will want to create space to reflect and to pull a card every day, which is what we'll be doing. And I'll explain more about the specific structure of this challenge in a few minutes. But the intention here is to use tarot as a tool to help strengthen your inner guidance, to help, even if you are already consider yourself to be intuitive, there are ways that you can refine that. There are ways that you can establish that connection if you feel like you are constantly second guessing yourself, or you're feeling like you don't really connect with that inner voice. That is the purpose of this challenge. And that is why I wanted this challenge to be 45 days. Another reason is because this journey, it's really the way that I sectioned it out. It starts on the 3rd of February, and this will carry us right into the spring equinox. So initially, I was going to do a shorter challenge, but this gives you enough time to really find your rhythm. And if that's something that you are interested in and you are wanting to commit to this, then be sure to stay tuned and be sure to subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell if you haven't done so already. And also share this video with someone that maybe is interested in learning tarot or wanting to connect with their intuition more in a different way, and using tarot as a tool. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments and I will answer those questions. After I go through the run through of just what this challenge is about, then I will go into a Q&A. So I mentioned why it's 45 days, but even if you're watching this after the official start date, which is the 3rd of February, it is a Wednesday. So that is Wednesday, 3 February 2021. If you are watching this after the fact, that is okay. This challenge is designed for you to start at any time that you want. But the reason why I'm starting on the 3rd of February is because the 45 days leads us to the spring equinox. But it doesn't matter when you start. And so that's really important. And you can always kind of catch up if you want to, and follow along if you're catching this while the challenge is still going on. So what exactly do you have to do in the challenge? In this challenge, you will be pulling a daily tarot card. You will pull a card every day, and I will be uploading a video every day. These uploaded videos are not going to be long videos. It's going to be 5 to 7 minutes max. Okay. You are going to receive your tarot prompt And you are also, I'm going to share just some words of wisdom and share a collective message for a card that I pull for the collective. All right. So that's what you're going to get every day. A daily prompt for you to use when you pull your card. And I'm going to share a message for the collective. So it's not going to be longer. The video is not going to be longer than 5 to 7 minutes. You're going to pull your card. You're going to journal about that card. And that's what's going to happen every day. Each week, there's going to be a specific theme that we focus on in relation to reconnecting with your inner guidance. So 45 days is about 6 weeks. So every week is going to be a specific theme. The first week is just going to start with integration and kind of preparation. And then we'll go into different themes. Every Friday evening at this time, 7:30 p.m. Central, I'm going to do a live stream. And in that live stream, that's going to be the time for us to connect as a community, for us to chat about our experiences, for you to ask me any questions. I can bring some of you on video if you're interested in that. And we can really just talk about what this experience has been for you in the challenge, and I can answer any questions. So that will be more of, and that will be planned for about an hour long, maybe a little longer if there's more questions. So just keep in mind, this is not going to take hours out of your day. A 5 to 7 minute video max, and you'll pull a card based on that prompt. And we have a theme every week. And then if you want to hang out with us every Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Central, for about an hour or so for Q&A and to hang out and to talk about the challenge and our experience, that is what's going to happen. And of course, because this is going to be hosted on my YouTube channel, if you miss the live stream, you can always catch the replay. And I have created a playlist, and I will make that list public once the challenge officially starts, so that way you can watch everything in sequential order. So there's that part. Now, if you have additional questions, I have created a free prep guide that really just walks through it, everything that I'm talking about. It kind of gives you a template of what to expect for the things you need to do daily, which is just you're pulling a daily card, and then you're jotting down your thoughts, your what's coming up for you in relation to that card and the prompt. And it kind of you kind of go through that. So let me put that link while I'm thinking about it. Let me share this link with you right now in the comments. So if you're not already a part of my email list, you can click in here. Let me pull up YouTube. And you can get this free guide. You enter your name and email address, and it will be delivered. Once you confirm your email, then you will receive that download. So let me share that with you right now. And let me pull this up. Here we go. Let me add this in the chat right now. And let me know if you have any questions. And if you're catching the replay on this, post #replay, and then you can post your questions in the comments. But here is the guide. Let me see if I can pin that. Yep, I can pin that. Okay, so that post is pinned. So you can get that download. And let me see, and I can pull it up for you. Let me see if I can pull this up. Well, it'll take you to the link, but basically, like I mentioned, it will show you exactly, just so if you want to have a resource, and I'll go more in depth with questions in there as well. So that's what's in that guide. So even if you are still not sure if this challenge is right for you, grab the free guide, and that will give you some. You can see the questions. I have an FAQ in there along with kind of what to expect. So let's see. I've covered why it is 45 days. I have covered greetings. Hey, Miss Queen of Mankind. That is me. Greetings, Dawn. How are you? Hey, Sky Fearless. Welcome. So let me know if you have any questions. So another thing I wanted to cover is, who is this tarot challenge for? What if you've never used tarot, but you're curious about tarot? Should you do this challenge? This challenge is for anybody that is interested in tarot. If you are interested in tarot, even if you've never used tarot before and you want to start like trying it and exploring it, then this challenge is for you. If you have a tarot deck and you really have not been taking really connecting with your deck, or like having an established practice, having a consistent practice, then this challenge could be a really great way for you to just get into connecting and establishing a consistent practice with tarot, even if it's just for that 45 days. What if you don't have a tarot deck? What if you only have oracle cards? You can use oracle cards if you want to. However, the prompts, the things that, like, the whole purpose is to connect specifically with tarot, but you can absolutely use oracle cards if that's all you have. Another option that I would recommend, which I also talk about in the prep guide with this challenge, is you can download a tarot app. So that way, and there are plenty of free tarot apps, and you can also get some where you can pay to get additional access, but there are some free options, and I list some options in that free tarot guide. It's a prep guide to prepare you for the challenge, so you can find out if this is a good option for you. So go ahead and download that, which is pinned here in the chat, and it will give you the options. There's an option for Android, an option for iPhone, and an option that is available for both Android and iPhone. So there's still opportunity for you. You don't have to go out and buy a deck if you don't have a tarot deck. But if you have oracle cards, you can still use you can still participate. But I would encourage you to at least download the app, so that way when we're talking about certain things in relation to tarot, then you can kind of follow along. And also this can help you, if you're feeling intimidated or overwhelmed with tarot, this can be a great way for you to really unpack where that overwhelm is. And this is why the live stream, doing a live stream every evening, not every evening, Friday evening, we can talk about that. And of course, during this challenge, if you have any questions, you can submit your questions in advance, and you will see the link where you can submit your questions, and I can answer those later on if you don't have time to join the live stream or things like that. So something to keep in mind. Hey, MC, welcome. Once you go tarot, you never go back. I know, right? Listen, one of the reasons, why I wanted to do this challenge, this is my first time really offering and creating a free challenge. I've never done this before. The only thing I've done is I've created tarot videos, and I've also created a tarot mentorship program, which you really missed out if you missed when I first launched that tarot mentorship program. I will be offering it again later on. So if that's something that you're interested in taking a much deeper dive, because that's a much longer, it's a longer process. But for those of you, if you're interested in learning tarot in a deeper way and you want mentorship with that, then my mentorship program, my tarot mentorship program might be a good fit for you. But right now I'm not offering that. But when I do, be sure to just join my email list. You can go to my website, ujowajet.com, click on Tarot Table Talk and join that email list. And also, join that email list. And then when I do offer it again, you can be a part of that. But right now we're focusing on this challenge. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this challenge, create this challenge, is, and another reason why it's 45 days and why I wanted to create this challenge. And, this is something new for me. And then even doing it, doing this live challenge, I want it to be accessible to people, and I want it to be something that anybody can access. Because over the years, what I have noticed is that so many people get intimidated by tarot. And I really want to just pull back the layers. Yes, tarot is a lot to unpack. And doing some 7-day challenge or some 14-day challenge is not enough for you to really connect with tarot. And if you want to work through those aspects that feel overwhelming or intimidating, then my approach with tarot, my approach is really one that is grounded in just being realistic with how you can connect. You don't have to know every definition and study tarot like like you are studying for an exam. That is not the purpose here. And my approach with tarot and what I teach in my mentorship program is really about starting with your intuition, starting with refining and recalibrating your inner compass. And that's why I'm doing this challenge. There's a lot of different schools of thought with tarot. And I do personally believe that, from my experience, what I love about it is the logical aspect, but also how you can use this intuitively. And you can do both. But I feel like personally, starting from the intuitive aspect will allow you to work through the overwhelm of connecting on the logical aspect of tarot. I hope that makes sense. And I look forward to talking more about this topic because I am a tarot super geek. And you can, hey Kiara. So let me know if you are new with tarot, if you've been feeling intimidated or overwhelmed. Let me know. If you are on the fence about this challenge and whether, this 45 days seem like a long time, and you feel like you can't commit to that, let me know and we can talk about that. It's a really awesome program. Thank you, Dawn. Dawn was in my tarot mentorship program. So thank you for sharing that. Greetings. How are you? I believe that is Merez. Hey. So let's talk about time. And if you feel like you don't have enough time to do this challenge, like, oh, I don't have enough time. Oh, I can't do this. I can't commit. I can't. I talk about this, a way that you can work around this in that free guide that I pinned in the top of this chat. So be sure to grab that prep guide, because that will answer a lot of the questions for, if you don't have a tarot deck, what you should do about that. So let's talk about if you don't have time. If you feel like you don't have time, I'm here to tell you that if you want to do this challenge, you can, and you are not going to get punished if you miss a day, or if you know in advance there's going to be days where you just cannot pull one card, or you don't have time to really journal. The world's not going to end, I promise you, and you can always catch up. But let me give you some things to consider. And I talk about this in the prep guide as well. one of the things that people struggle with the most. So the first thing that I mentioned is just having this, really being overwhelmed and intimidated by tarot. And let me just pull some cards while I'm talking. So if you caught the live stream that I did earlier this week on Tuesday, and I was talking about using tarot for personal and spiritual growth. If you have not checked that out, be sure to do that. We were definitely getting some messages as I was just kind of casually pulling cards, and to help gain some insight. It's so interesting. We just got a jumper here. If you're feeling intimidated by tarot, if you feel like, oh, I don't have the time, you can make this work for you. You can. If you don't have time to watch a 5 to 7 minute video, that's fine. You can catch it later. You just need to create space on what's going to work best for you. If you know there's going to be 2 or 3 days in a row that you're just not going to be at home, then an app comes in. I have like 3 tarot apps on my phone. So you can pull your daily card on the go in your app, and you can jot down your notes in your phone. And then you can reflect. You can have a longer day to reflect on those prompts and whatever action steps come along with that, if applicable. Then you can have a day at the end of the week, maybe on the weekend, where you're kind of going, more in depth. But really, the goal is to really jot down some key points, jot down what's coming up for you. But you can use this as having a longer day to journal, or to jot down your thoughts and your reflections at the end of the week, or whatever day works best for you. And you can also just jot down your key points in your phone, in your notes, and use an app if you're on the go. This doesn't have to be some drawn out, like, oh, I need to wear a silk robe and light candles and light the incense and pull the card and no, frolic in a garden and do all this stuff. No, you don't have to do that shit. All you got to do is pull one card. And I believe that this 3 of Wands is coming up because it's like, look, what is the possibility? What can this bring for you? So if you're feeling drawn to tarot, if you're feeling drawn to this challenge, if you're curious about it, really look at what can you gain? And you can let me know now in the comments, what is the goal? What do you want to get out of this challenge? What is one goal? What is one thing that you want to experience? What do you want to accomplish by the end of this challenge? Is your goal just to get to a point where you're consistent for 45 days, investing in yourself, because that's what this is about, right? This challenge is about reconnecting with your inner guidance. If you and establishing that, if you feel like you've lost it, or you feel like you've never connected with it, or deepening that connection if you already have it. I'm going to be doing this challenge too, right? I'm doing it too. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey. You can always do more, or you can always expand upon where you're at, or refine and improve in some way, but you have to decide what's important to you. So I feel like this 3 of Wands is coming up because it's like, you know what? My spirit is calling me to look beyond my own limitations. Are you ready to do that? Let me know, what is one thing that you want to get out of it? And that's one of the things we're going to really focus on when we start. So we're starting on a Wednesday. So we're really going to be focusing on connecting with why you want to do this. It's going to be so important. So just be prepared for that. We're going to dive deeper into this, because with anything you do, no matter what you do, you have to know why you're doing it. Because if you don't know why it's important to you, then you're never going to follow through. And I'm speaking from personal experience, because there's going to be times where the tarot will read you for filth. The tarot is shady as hell. Okay, tarot will read you for filth. And when I was, and for those that were in my tarot mentorship program, they will tell you some of the things we were doing. We were doing live readings and exercises, and we were all getting read. Like, shady boots, just shade. And this will happen. The things that you don't want, that you have been avoiding, will show up. So I feel like this Six of Pentacles is coming up because it's like, how are you, when it comes to, I view the Pentacles as not just about money, but about where you're investing your energy. So when it comes to this challenge and your life, right? And the things that you want for yourself, where are you investing your time and your energy? I launched a podcast episode yesterday titled Say Yes, The Power of Saying Yes. If you're not familiar with my podcast, it is Fit Body, Fit Spirit. That is the name of it. You can find it on all social media platforms. I mean, on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Google Podcasts, and all that. And you can also find it on my website. And you can also click on the Instagram. I have an Instagram podcast. An Instagram for the podcast, which is at Fit Body, Fit Spirit on Instagram. And I talk about the power of saying yes. So I would definitely encourage you to listen to that episode. And a new podcast episode drops every Thursday if you're into podcasts. If not, that's totally fine. But I feel like it was relevant here because you have to decide what you value. If reconnecting or establishing or strengthening that inner voice and really strengthening your intuition, if that's something that's important to you, then you need to look at where are you spending the time that you feel like you don't have. What are you doing with your time? Where is it all going? Like, really look at that. I've had to do that for myself. I had to think about when I was creating this challenge, I'm like, how am I going to find the time to do this? But I realized what's important to me. And I had to move some things. It's like, okay, the things I'm investing time in areas that really aren't creating as much value as this other thing would be. So something to pay attention to. And investing in yourself, spending 10 minutes a day to do something for yourself, that doesn't mean you're selfish. That doesn't mean it won't be challenging, though. And it can be, when it comes to establishing a habit, even if it's a habit that is something that is a positive habit, something that is meant to do that you want to do something for yourself, it can be hard to break out of your own mold. And if you're not used to investing in yourself, if you're not used to being in a consistent practice, it will be challenging. It will be. But I encourage you to not be in the mindset of, I missed a day and I couldn't do it and I failed. I don't want you to think that. I want you to really look at how can I, be resourceful, be creative about, well, how can I make this work for me? No matter what it is, whether it's participating in this challenge, whether it's doing something, whether it's changing your life in whatever way it is, whatever way that you're wanting to create change. Something to think about. Let me go into Q&A here. Let me go into these questions and stuff. Yes, it's Perez. Love this challenge idea. Now I got to get a deck. Yes, get a deck. And if for those of you, if you're not sure what deck to buy, and it's interesting, the Seven of Wands is coming up when I was talking about feeling like where are you going to invest your time, or trying to work through breaking out of your own mold and your own habit. Like, how relevant is that to the Seven of Wands? Even if you have no idea what Seven of Wands, what shows up for you in this image? How does that show up? What is it? And this is something, practice this right now. If you've never looked at tarot, whatever, what is this? What image? What are you picking up from this image? Let me know in the comments. What are you picking up on this image when it comes to working through breaking out of your own mold and really just instilling a new practice? because you have to push, you have to move beyond your comfort zone. I talked about invisible barriers in my podcast. I did a 3-part series on that, and you have to move through it. So how does that relate here, right? A lot of this is our own stuff. And when it picking deck, so the deck that I'm using, the deck that I teach, really use is Rider-Waite. The deck that I'm using, here's the back of it, is the Rider-Waite Radiant Tarot deck. Here's the back, and you can get the original Rider-Waite, but you can get. Let me show you another deck here. So back here, here's another deck. You can get a deck that is Rider-Waite adjacent, like it's, it has it. This is the Modern Witch Tarot deck, which is a favorite. How cute is she? Isn't she adorable? Oh my gosh, I love decks, y'all. It's really a thing. Get whatever deck speaks to you. But the deck that I would recommend getting is something that's based in Rider-Waite. And if you like this is similar to the traditional Rider-Waite deck. And this is the Radiant one, but there's also Morgan Greer, the Morgan Greer Tarot, the original Rider-Waite. And I'll probably create a separate video talking about like tarot decks for beginners. But I feel like this deck, this deck is very much based in being open to all forms of women empowerment. All shapes, all sizes, all colors, all ethnicities, all orientations. So that's what I love about this. It's so cute. But at the end of the day, I want you to find a deck that resonates with you. What speaks to you? That's what's most important. Because if you buy a deck and you don't really connect with it, then you're gonna struggle. But how cute is this deck? I mean, isn't she fabulous? Come on, Queen of Pentacles. Look at her. So this is another version of a tarot deck. There's so many different types. There's no wrong answer there. But yeah, my suggestion would be something that is based in the Rider-Waite system versus Thoth or something like that. And then if you have oracle cards, like I mentioned earlier, for those of you that are tuning in, if you only have oracle cards, you can use oracle cards during this, and then you can just download a tarot app. So that way, when we're talking about things in relation to tarot, you can follow along there. But if you are kind of avoiding tarot, then let's look at why you are avoiding it. And yeah, you don't have to, you can start where you are. That's what I'm saying. Let me share some other cards here. You'll get just as much out of this, no matter what deck you're using, but the main conversation will be around Rider-Waite based decks. And that's what I'll be using in the challenge. But I'll be sharing some oracle cards and stuff as well for some of the collective messages that I'll be sharing throughout the challenge. Greetings. Let's see. How important do you feel setting the atmosphere? A lot of times when I am indulging in my spirituality, I feel like the setting has to be perfect. I have been working on getting out of that box. It's not necessary. I'm all about like just jumping in the trenches, just like making it really convenient. So one of the things that I recommend, it's really the atmosphere. This is how I feel about the atmosphere. The atmosphere is within. Focus on your inner atmosphere. because the external really doesn't matter. And this is something I've had to learn for myself, and I've had to like really practice it. And it can be, it can feel like a learning curve to kind of get out of that. You don't have to have all the things. Now, like I mentioned earlier, say if you just want to use the tarot prompts, the videos that I upload that are going to be uploaded daily are going to be like 5 to 7 minutes long max, and you'll take your prompt, you do your thing. You can have a day once a week, and maybe that's your longer day to kind of connect and maybe, go back and watch some of the videos, or journal longer or whatever, right? So you can do that and have that day to kind of really set the mood and really connect a bit deeper. And that's something that I like to do every once in a while. It's like, you know what? I'm trying to have my incense going. I'm trying to like, you know, just really kind of have, be in the ambiance of it all, you know. So, but it's not necessary. Focus more on connecting within, and that's the whole point of this challenge. Reconnecting with your inner guidance. It's all about what's going on internally. What is the atmosphere there? So one of the things I like to do, and one of the things I do to this day, and I always recommend, like, have your deck right next to your bed. Have your deck next to your bed, and pull the card. Just pull the card. You can pull the card, and then if you don't have time in the morning, I'll be posting the videos in the morning. If you don't have time in the morning to watch the videos or whatever, or do your thing, like, or to like journal in the morning, you only have time to kind of like pull the card, and jot things down later. Or you can use an app and kind of take it on the go with you. If you're listening while you're on your way to work, you pull your card and then you can jot it down in your journal later. But it's really not as important externally. What's most important is the internal atmosphere. I hope that answered your question. I want to experience consistency with my tarot practice, deepening my connection to my intuition and continuing building a relationship with my tarot cards. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And that's the biggest thing, that deepening the connection and continuing to build that relationship. I think it's so important and super fun to really just establish this connection or build one with your deck. Each deck has a different personality. Let me share some oracle cards. Here's a deck. This is an oracle deck that I've been using. I've had this deck for a long time. This is a Nature Speak Oracle by Ted Andrews. Here's the box. It's such a cute deck. And I've been using this oracle deck a lot lately. And I'm telling you, how convenient is this? Marshland, transition and change. For those of you that are on the fence about joining me in this free 45-day Reconnect with Your Inner Guidance Tarot Challenge, if you are on the fence about whether you can trust yourself enough to commit, whether you feel like you're ready, whether you feel like tarot is too intimidating, or you're trying to find every excuse to not show up for yourself, this card is showing up to be like, hey, transition and change. And this is all about what you want to gain out of doing this tarot challenge. Don't do it for me. Do not do it for me. You have to do it for yourself. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if nobody shows up to this challenge. I'm still doing this challenge. I'm doing this challenge for me, and I'm sharing this journey with you because I want it to help people. But you have to want to do it for you. Because this isn't about me. I'm here to encourage you and support you along your journey and help you work through the areas where you feel stuck. So if you're feeling resistance towards transition and change, then really look at, what is it that you are resisting? Do you even know what you want to change? to help me get more connected with self. Yes, I love that. And that's really the main point of the challenge. And I feel like so many times people get overwhelmed with tarot or even staying consistent with it because they're too much in their mind about, they feel like they have to know all the definitions and know all the things and know every symbol and what it means and know the colors and the alignments and you really don't, you don't need to start there. I'm not saying that there's not a place for that, because there is. But when you look at tarot as a life, like as something that you are exploring in this, and if it's for you, you might decide, you might do this challenge and realize that, you know what, tarot's not really, I'm not really into tarot like that. And that's fine. Maybe oracle cards are like your jam. And maybe, you know, and you can, maybe you want to have a tarot card, tarot and an oracle card. Because that might be a question that comes up if you want to use multiple decks. You can if you want to. I want you to take this challenge and make it your own, right? So you might discover that maybe I just want to use oracle, or maybe I want to, I don't want to pull just one card. I want to pull a tarot card and an oracle card. You can do that. Listen, and look at the Violet telling us, keep it simple and make it work for you. It doesn't have to be complicated. Most of the times we are complicating things ourselves for no reason. Story of my life, by the way. I complicate things all the time. Do you have any suggestions for preparing the atmosphere? Yes. So my suggestions for preparing your atmosphere is, decide on, if you're going to participate in this challenge, decide when you want to, like, do you want to have a dedicated space that you go to pull your card? So I mentioned you can have your deck right next to your bed. You get the tarot prompt in the morning, or maybe you're catching it in the afternoon. It doesn't matter what time of day that you do this, that you get the video. Once you get the video, you pull your card. If you want to have it at your desk, if you want to have it at your nightstand, if you have like a meditation area, and you want to do it there, or if you're going to just have or do this on your phone and you want to do this when you're on your break at work, find a place where it's going to be easy for you to access, and you're willing to go there. So for example, because sometimes it's preparing your atmosphere, and I'm going to talk about the external aspects of atmosphere and then the internal. So sometimes, and I have personally experienced this, it's like, my tarot cards are over there and I don't want to walk over there, so I'm not. So I'm not going to do that. So for me, what I do, I have my journal and I have my decks by my bed, and so that way it's like I can still be in bed and pull my cards, and that's the path of least resistance for me to stay consistent, right? So path of least resistance is one way to prepare your atmosphere. What is going to be the easiest yes for you to move forward with what you need to do? If it's making sure that your tarot deck and your journal, making sure that they are visible, that they're somewhere where you see it, so okay, I see it, and you don't have to like go through all this extra stuff. If you're in a situation where you're in the tarot closet, like I was many, many years ago, or you don't want anybody to know or things like that, then have it somewhere discreet that it's like right there in a box or whatever. So that's the way you can prepare for the atmosphere externally. Take the path of least resistance. What is going to be the easiest way for you to do the work, to where you're not going to be like, oh, well, I don't feel like doing it, right? And then if you want to add other things, and this is something that you can explore during the challenge. You might first decide that, okay, I'm going to do this in the morning, but then maybe your mornings are way too crazy and you're more susceptible to just connecting more and doing things more at night. And you might adjust that. So explore kind of the time of day that works best for you. And now let's talk about preparing your atmosphere internally. In the evening, right? If you're doing this in the evening, really be in the mindset, like you want to switch gears out of being in the mindset of doing everything for everybody else and really considering this to be like, okay, this is my time. This is time for me. This is my 5 to 10 minute daily investment in myself. So it's really important to switch those gears and be like, and remember what you are wanting to receive out of this challenge. What is it that you want to experience? Why is this important to you? And one thing you can do, and we're going to do this next week, is actually talk about why this is important and have something somewhere that you can just remember your why, because that's going to be really important. And that aspect of switching gears and remembering that, oh, this is not some chore that I'm doing. This is something that I want to do because I want to strengthen my intuition. I want to establish a deeper connection with my deck. I want to learn tarot in a different way that doesn't feel overwhelming and intimidating. I want to find my voice again. That's why I'm doing this, because this is going to take me to this next phase, this next season, right? So I mentioned we're starting on the 3rd of February, and this will take you right into the spring equinox. That's why I set it up this way, because I consider the spring equinox to be the true new year. It's nature's new year, and I like to connect with nature's clock. Right? It doesn't make sense for the new year to be in January. It makes no sense when you think about it in alignment with nature. So from my perspective, January is the new calendar year based off the Gregorian calendar, but nature's new year is the spring, right? So something to think about. But again, if you're just tuning in and you're catching this after the fact, after the 3rd of February, you can still do this challenge. You can do this challenge at any time that you want to. You can catch up with us if this challenge is still going on when you discover this video. But just something to think about it, and one of the inspirations for me, right? So I hope that was helpful for you, Sky Fearless. And let me know if you have any other questions about preparing your atmosphere internally or externally. Tarot readers wheel. My cards read me 2 days ago in a row, but I love it. Girl, same. Oh gosh, wait a minute, I lost my spot. Oh, here we go. And pushing outside yes to pushing outside your comfort zone. I'm catching up in the chat here. I want to get connected with my guides, higher self, and have a better quality of life. Thank you for sharing that. And I love what you mentioned about having a better quality of life. Because think about it, this is taking us into spring equinox. What about your life do you want to see change, right? Because here's the thing. When you have a better understanding of who you are internally, and when you can really realign or strengthen that connection with spirit and with your intuition, you get so many confirmations. You are able to hear the messages that you've been avoiding because you're too busy, like in everybody else's stuff. And when you can really connect to the message. Now, sometimes you might not want to listen to what spirit is telling you, what your spirit is telling you, or what your spirit guides are telling you, right? But it's so important to know, even if you decide to ignore the intuition, sometimes you just don't be trying to hear it. But and that's just the truth. But when you know, so it's like, okay, now I know the difference between what is happening in my mind versus what my intuition is saying, because that's another aspect of this, deciphering, knowing the difference between your mind versus your intuition, and really being able to connect that way. I believe I did a podcast episode. Let me look really quick, because I can't think of the name of it. Let me look. I think I did one that talks about like how to override your mind or something, and that could be really helpful as well. I will find that. Let me look. I think it's Are You in Tune with Your Body? Check out episode 11 of the podcast, Fit Body, Fit Spirit. And that's another good way for you to start. And we will be talking about this more throughout the challenge, because that is the basis of this challenge, reconnecting with your inner guidance. So really establishing or refining or strengthening that intuitive connection is what we'll be talking about. And I'll be sure to provide those resources in the descriptions of all the videos and things like that. And if you grab that free guide, the link is pinned to the top of this chat, then you will also gain access to my email list, and I also will send additional resources there if you want to be a part of that. But everything is going to be accessible on YouTube, so don't feel like you have to get the e-guide, but it will the free prep guide, but it will be very useful. Also hoping this will assist me with clarity of answers. Exactly, it will. And we can help when we do the evening live streams, which would be at this same time, 7:30 p.m. Central every Friday. Then anytime where if you're struggling with like breaking through some of those barriers with gaining clarity and things like that, then I can help you through that. So spreads. What are the best spreads to start with other than past, present, future? Well, for this challenge, we're going to be doing, the focus will be one card. You can pull more than one card if you feel you need a clarifier card, or if you want to pull a tarot and oracle cards, you can. And I'll talk about that more when we start. But when it comes to what other spreads, it really depends on what you are wanting, what your question entails. And like, what is it that you're wanting? So one of the things you can do is a mind, body, spirit spread if you're wanting something that's a 3-card spread. And be sure to stay tuned to this channel, because I will be making more videos that talks about different spreads and how to create your own spreads. And those are things that I've shown how to do in my tarot mentorship program, how to do that. But a mind, body, spirit spread is a good one, but it really depends on what's the question around, what's the desired outcome. And there's more than just 3-card spreads. A 3-card spread gives you just enough to get things going. You can also do, one of my favorite 3-card spreads is as above, so below. And as above is representing to the aspects of your spirit, your higher or inner self, your non-physical self, and what's happening beyond this realm. The below card is how this shows up in the physical realm. And then the first position is the as above card. The second position is your current situation. The third position is the so below card, and the so below is in relation to like what needs to happen in this physical realm in order for you to kind of get a clear understanding of what the mirror effect is between the spirit world and the physical world, and how you're showing up in it. I hope that makes sense. So just a recap on that. Other options for 3-card spreads would be a mind, body, spirit spread, or my personal favorite is an as above, so below. So I hope that was helpful. Fighting, guarded, working hard. Oh yes, in relation to the card behind here on the chat. Struggle with the ground underneath him. Oh yeah, so we're talking about this Wands card. We're talking about the 7 of Wands. And y'all were sharing what was showing up for you there. So yes, that's good. Fighting, guarded, and working hard. Exactly. You don't have to, like, it doesn't have to be a lot of work. It doesn't have to be unnecessarily hard, right? And that's why, you know, I don't like calling things challenges all the time. Because it's like, oh, this is going to be hard. Like, yeah, it will challenge you. Struggle, but the ground underneath him is parted and he is not giving up. So the struggle with perseverance, I believe character comes after that. I love that. Great perspective, Sky Fearless. Yes, brought that for my daughter. Yes, the Modern Witch Tarot. This deck is so adorable. So cute. Love that deck. Yes. That's the deck I'm going to use for the challenge all the way to summer. Good. That's going to be awesome. This is such a great deck. Your internal space that you project outward will set the space. Absolutely. And that's why I talk about when it comes to setting the atmosphere, and really it starts within. So just like we talked about, like I shared, one of my favorite spreads that I like to do is an as above, so below. This is all about as within, so without. And when you tend to your inner garden, your inner self, and connect with your inner guidance, that will be a direct reflection externally. Yes, love that, the atmosphere within. That was all I needed, you rock. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's exactly what this is about. And I feel like with a lot of I've tried to participate in tarot challenges in the past, like years ago when I was first starting, and I really struggled to stay consistent with the challenge. With challenges in the past, like 30-day challenges and even shorter challenges, because it felt very based in the mind and the logical aspect, which I kind of talked about earlier. And this is a deeper dive because I really want to focus on that inner aspect and being able to support you through that journey when it comes to connecting within. I actually have the Modern Witch Tarot deck on my list on Amazon, so I will definitely be getting that. Yes, come on. Now, disclaimer, okay, if you are wanting to, I have a problem. And those that have been in my Tarot Mentor program already know I have a lot of decks and I can't stop buying them. It's a problem. I consider myself a tarot collector at this point. That's how I'm going to justify my tarot hoarding. But I promise you, I will be doing more deck review. I will be doing deck reviews and walkthroughs on the channel as well, which I so far I've only done with my mentees, but I will be doing some of that here, talking about tarot. So if you're wanting to not be, at risk of being inspired to buy new decks, then you're being warned right now. Yep, I must do. I do most of my readings in bed. Yes, me too. My tarot, my tarot decks, my tarot oracle decks, and this is the deck that I've been working with a lot lately. Now we pulled 2 cards, so let's see what's popping up here. Oh, look at that. Time to replenish spiritual quest. Let me tell you how spirit works. I love pulling cards while we're having these conversations and while I'm doing some of these live streams, because it just enhances the message here. It kind of confirms a lot of things. So isn't this what we were talking about? Think about what this challenge can do for you, right? When it comes to what is your spiritual quest? Think about that. We'll be talking about that more next week as well. What is your spiritual quest? What is your why? And through this journey, you will start to unpack that if you don't even know like where you're going spiritually, or where you're going, like where do you want to go? You might feel completely lost and you have no idea, and you can't hear anything, you can't connect with your intuition, like you just don't know. It's okay to not know. But you can get to a point where you can start to unpack that. Time to replenish, right? Sometimes you're foggy with the spiritual quest. You don't know, you don't have the nourishment to navigate this quest, to navigate the journey. You don't have the energy, the spiritual energy, the spiritual capacity, which I talk about. I did a video here on my YouTube channel talking about like struggling with your spiritual, if you're struggling with accessing your spiritual gifts. So if that's something that you are struggling with, definitely check out that video here on the channel. I want more confidence. Yes, I love that. And I think that's really important when it comes to using tarot. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this challenge with tarot, because a lot of people don't have confidence in using tarot, but also when it comes to having confidence with listening and trusting themselves. So if you're struggling with trusting yourself, if you're struggling with, I love this move and adapt, right? If you're struggling with trusting yourself, then you do need to make a move. You do need to adjust what you're doing, because you will not change. I actually posted this on my Instagram earlier. Nothing in your life will change unless you change. Nothing in your life will change unless you change. And if you want to have more confidence, if you want to start navigating that spiritual quest, or commit to it in a deeper way, refine the process to get clearer, then this challenge can help you get there. You got to do something different. You have to adapt, right? I have a friend who wants me to do a reading for her tomorrow. Oh, that's going to be fun. Readings are fun. Fun fact, when I got, like, I remember doing, for those of you, if you, let me know, do you do readings for other people? Is this going to be your first time doing readings? I think, practicing and doing readings for other people is definitely fun. So I hope that reading goes well for you. If you're completely terrified of doing a reading, then and just say, hey, I'm terrified, but I'm going to do this, and let's see what happens. I just pulled the Lovers, my sign in Gemini. Awesome. So what do you feel like that represents for you? You are welcome. You will absolutely want to start a collection. I know it is seriously a problem. And I'll share one more. I'll pull one more deck, and let me know if you have any other questions before we conclude. So what I've been sharing with you is the Nature Speak Oracle. I really love this deck. And there's a full book that goes with this too. There was a book that came out before the deck came out. But I've been really guided towards this deck, and it kind of makes sense as we are preparing to navigate spring. Here's a deck, Sacred Mothers and Goddesses. This is an oracle deck. And if you're not sure, what the difference between a tarot or oracle deck, like if you don't know the differences, I do have a video here on my YouTube channel that talks about that, but I will also be doing an updated video on that topic. So don't you worry. How gorgeous is this? So just giving y'all And one of the things, just a quick little note here, right? You know, tarot is a specific system and oracle cards have less of a structure, or less of a unified structure. So oracle cards will are really just how an oracle card is structured is based on the individual, like who created it. But with tarot, there's different types of tarot. Like I showed you earlier, the Modern Witch Tarot, and I have a ton of other decks and things like that. You could have a different theme for tarot, for a tarot deck, but what it's grounded in, what it's based in, and the structure of it is the same. There's always going to be 78 cards. You have some decks that might have like a bonus card. Like this deck does have a bonus card, like a bonus card in there. But the same structure. There's a major arcana, there's a minor arcana, there's court cards. So that's one of the things, one of the differences with tarot and oracle. And most people tend to be, and even for myself, I used oracle a lot more because I felt, you know, it did feel more digestible. It felt easier. Isn't she gorgeous? Look at this. Look at this. Look at these cards. I need to do a full walkthrough. Like this is, look, I mean, look at this. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. So just something to be mindful of. I went to a holistic shop today and told myself I was going to get one deck and ended up getting 2 oracle decks. Listen, I was so close to going to a metaphysical shop today, and I had to stop myself. It's a problem. I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. It's like if you're trying to like avoid getting decks, then a disclaimer is that I cannot guarantee that you will not be inspired to want to purchase a deck. I love this one, Mama Kocha, Dive Deep Shadow Work. And I love me some shadow work. And I've talked about that on the channel as well. But how gorgeous. Oh, such a beautiful, look how beautiful. Mary Magdalene. So I'm just saying. Only people close to me. Okay, when it comes to reading. And sometimes that's how I started. I only was reading for people, for my friends. I was still in the tarot closet at the time, so I was only reading for like friends. And then eventually, you know, I never thought that I would be reading tarot professionally. And here I am. I'm up for the challenge and I want to be open to receive the messages she needs to hear. Awesome. The Lovers, I think, because I had this guy on my mind and yeah, I need some passion in my life. I know that's right. So you might want to pull another card to see how to move forward with that. My Book of the Dead deck has oracle messages with each card. Oh, I love that. And I want that that deck as well. The Book of the Dead. These cards are so gorgeous. And we are getting ready to conclude here. I'm just sharing with y'all some cards here, and here's the back of it. Sacred Mothers and Goddesses. Such a beautiful deck. And it does come with a guidebook and things like that. I'll probably eventually do a full walkthrough of this deck. I have the Light Shears Tarot deck, and I love the images. Yes. And this is why it's important, right? You know, I shared some of these decks here because when it comes to picking a deck for this challenge, if you don't have one, or if you have a few decks and you're not sure which one you should use, go with what you really feel drawn to, what you feel inspired by. And if you want to use tarot and oracle together, you absolutely can. And you will see me using tarot and oracle cards in some of the video prompts. I'll use oracle cards for some of the collective messages, because I'll be sharing a collective message along with your tarot prompt. And the videos, again, are going to be 5 to 7 minutes maximum. What about just taking taking cards in the upright. So it's a personal choice. If you want to utilize reversals, I personally do not read reversals. And so by not reading reversals, I'm not saying that I don't like believe in reversals or anything like that. And there have been times like I pay attention to reversals, but I don't intentionally like turn the deck around, twist the decks around so it could be reversal or upright. I personally don't do that because I feel like there is enough within the tarot scope to really gain understanding of what is showing up. But it's completely a personal decision. If you do read reversals, you totally can. There's nothing wrong with that. And so, like I said, like I mentioned, I pay attention to reversals when they show up, and I look at, well, okay, this card shows up reverse. And for me, right, since I don't intentionally like make my cards reverse, I when it shows up, it's something that I pay attention to because I'm like, okay, this is reverse right now, and I need to look at what needs to happen in order for me to turn the situation around. That's my perspective. But yeah, it's your choice. You can read just upright. That's what I do. And then if a reversal pops up, I pay attention to it because it's like, okay, this is showing up, and I don't know how this card got reversed. So what's happening right now? But yeah, totally a personal choice. And you will have some, and if you're not sure if you should or not, it's really, you have some decks like this deck that I share, Nature Speak. Isn't Spirit funny? Look at this. Look at this card. Look at this. I was just talking. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what's happening right before your eyes? I was just talking about this, and this card comes up in reverse. Do you see what they be doing to me? This is so funny. So, based on the just impeccable timing of my of the universe and my spirit guides and us talking about reversals, I am going to let's see what it says in the book, right? Because this deck does have reversal meanings in the book. Okay. And this is an oracle deck. So you will have oracle decks and tarot decks that have this is so funny, that have reversals in it. So explore it if it's something that you're curious about, but it's not necessary. Not for this challenge anyway. And especially if you're new to tarot, if you're relatively new and you're still trying to figure out just the upright versions of things, then I would say don't worry about it. But if a card happens to show up reversed, like this card just did, what? Spirit, yo, listen. Then I would recommend just pay attention to what it says. But I'm going to read what it says in the book because this one does. This is so funny. And y'all are seeing right before your eyes the power of synchronicity. Okay. So I'm going to read, since this card came up reversed, which, and this whole deck, y'all saw me with the deck earlier. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see? I'm going to read the reversed message first, and then I'm going to share with you what the upright version means, right? So we just got this card together in reverse, and what this says is sunshine, shine forth, right? This is the reverse meaning. The book reads, be careful about becoming distracted from your purpose. Come on, Spirit, listen. Y'all about to get red for Phil. We all about to be red. Listen. Be careful about becoming distracted from your purpose. Phenomena are not as important as the spiritual lessons behind them. The spiritual quest cannot be fulfilled by mere clairvoyance. Mind you, for those of you that were here, you saw The spiritual quest card I pulled that earlier. Y'all remember that? And now they're talking about spiritual quest. Do you see what's happening? The spiritual quest cannot be fulfilled by mere clairvoyance. What is psychic is not always spiritual. What is occult, metaphysical, is not always uplifting. And what is appealing is not always beneficial. Be discriminating. Just because something shines and has power does not mean it is something that is true. A finger pointing at the sun is not the same as the sun. Do you hear this? Do you see what's happening? I mean, think about that. I mean, what? Now let me read the reversal. I mean, let me read the upright version. The sun provides light and heat to illuminate and heal, and now it is your time to be the sun. It is time to step forward and let your light shine. People are going to notice you and be drawn to your light. You have found your spiritual path. It is being illuminated. Finding the path and walking the path, though, are very different things. Let me read that part again. You have found your path. It is being illuminated. Finding the path and walking the path, though, are two very different things. Remember that the spiritual quest is not the quest to find some light into which our troubles are dissolved. It is the quest to find the divine light within us so that we can shine it out for ourselves and others. I mean, were we not talking about this? You see how the reversal and the upright just wrapped up everything that we were talking about today. Listen, I'm telling you. So, was that not a mic drop? I mean, I'm just saying. Let me see what y'all are saying here. What are the odds of that happen? Isn't that wild? It's divine. It's amazing. It is exactly what we needed. What's my hair doing right here? The perfect confirmation. So if it comes out in reverse, I don't have to read it that way. I'm trying to practice shuffling the cards where they all stay upright, at least for now. Then later, when I'm more comfortable reading. So if a reversal comes out, what I do is I pay attention to that. I pay attention to the upright definition of the card, and then I'm looking at, okay, I know what this means upright. So what needs to happen? What is getting in the way? What is creating this reverse effect? And what needs to happen in order for this situation to be turned around? That's how I view it. So if it comes up like that, pay attention to it. And you can either look at it, you can decide if you wanted to read it as a reversal meaning, or if it's something where, okay, this situation, just like we got this reversal, right? Like, okay, what's showing up in this reversal? What needs to happen in order for this situation to be turned around? It's your choice. Whatever resonates most with you. Okay, continue. I'll read them in reverse. Okay, yeah. Right? Wow. Listen, I only read reverse tarot cards, but not oracle. Right? And this is one of the odds, because you will have some oracle cards that do give you reverse meanings. And I have quite a few oracle cards that do have reversal meanings. So, and again, that's your choice. Whether you're using tarot or oracle cards, it's up to you. Every reader has their own perspective of it. It is interesting to learn, and you do gain a deeper perspective when you look at reversals. But if you're still new to tarot, if you're still kind of, if you already feel overwhelmed with tarot, don't focus on the reversals right now. But be mindful of them if they show up. But it's really a personal decision. Listen. Read it. Yes. I don't read reversals either, but we just got read up and down. I'll take it. Didn't we though? This is what be happening. This is what be happening. It's so funny. And I mean, talk about divine alignment of that even showing up in this way. Y'all saw me put these cards back in the box upright. Look, I even pulled the rest out the box. They're upright. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, but I think, what a great way to conclude this, this video today. And I'm gonna leave that card open. I might need to reflect on that, right? Because how powerful was that? So just to wrap things up, I hope that this live stream, this live introduction of what to expect for this tarot challenge, the 45-day Reconnect with Your Inner Guidance Tarot Challenge. I hope that you got some insight here. I hope you got some clarity. And let me know, do you feel like this challenge is right for you? We officially start on Wednesday, the 3rd of February, 2021. If you are watching this after the fact, it is okay. You can start at any point in time. If this series is still going on, when you're seeing this video, you can kind of catch up to us and still be a part of this. There will be a daily prompt, a daily video that I will upload. That video will be no more than 5 to 7 minutes, and I will host a weekly live stream, and that will be hosted every Friday in the evening, 7:30 p.m. Central, where we will talk about our experiences, where we'll do a Q&A. If you want to join me on live, and if you have any questions, some coaching around like your experiences, we can do some of that. And we're going to have a weekly theme, and I will also share that weekly theme on Friday. But again, the purpose of this challenge is for you to strengthen your intuition, to recalibrate your internal compass, and to really focus on connecting with your intuition and using tarot as the tool to get you there. So I hope that you're with me. I hope that you're ready to take this journey with me. We are journeying right into the spring equinox at the start of this, but just know you don't have to do this only, to the spring. You might want to do this in the fall or whenever you're watching this video. Just know that this tarot challenge is meant for you to overcome your intimidation with tarot, overcome and work through the overwhelm, and really take a different approach. Take an intuitive, holistic approach with tarot. At least that is the purpose of this, and that's how I approach tarot. So I hope that you are looking forward to this. I hope that you are as excited as I am. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you know somebody that you think would enjoy this challenge, then be sure to share this video. And if you want more details and you want just a resource that kind of recaps everything I talked about today, then click on the pinned post here in the chat, and that is the link to my free prep guide for this challenge. And yeah, you'll get a PDF once you confirm the your email. Then you'll get the download. And yeah, I hope that you're looking forward to this. I'm really excited. Yay! And if you want to connect with me further, you can do so by heading over to my website, ujowajet.com. If you want to know more or be on the waiting list for when I do open up the doors for my tarot mentorship program, then you can click on Tarot Table Talk, and that will, and you can join the waiting list there. And then also, I mentioned a few episodes from my podcast, Fit Body, Fit Spirit. I recommended, hold on, I pulled it up. The Power of Saying Yes, which is the episode that just dropped yesterday. And this is Friday the 29th, and just the 29th of January. I dropped this on Thursday, the 28th of January, The Power of Saying Yes. So if you are struggling with really saying yes for yourself, then definitely check out episode 29, The Power of Saying Yes to Yourself. And I also have a lot of other good topics there on my podcast. So if you're into podcasting or listening to podcasts, or you want to hear more content from me, then that would be another way to do so. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Fit Body, Fit Spirit. And if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. And I am looking forward to connecting with you. More videos will be coming out over the next couple of days. I'll do some pre-recorded videos just to get through the key points. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. You can do so in the comments of this video, or you can send me a message through Instagram or my website. All right. So you're excited. I am excited too. Awesome moments. Yes. Thank you. All right. You all have a good evening. I'll see you on the next one.